Okay, so Justin, your lyrics are really inspirational and I can relate with them in many ways. And one of them that really touched home with me was "The truth has replaced all the lies that I loved." Where do these lyrics come from?
Well, when I write, I don't really try to force anything. It's from experiences of really personal stuff, or it can be just being on the outside looking in to somebody else. That one, when I wrote the song, I was constantly trying to find my identity in something else. I was, in a way, running from God, knowing He was there all the while, chasing me and pursuing me, knowing He loved me, but He finally just stormed my life again, and really just brought about that song and all the lies that I was believing and wanting to believe and trying to chase and identify myself with. He just took them away and replaced them with His truth, and just awoke to my identity in Christ.
Would you say that your lyrics then are not just for yourself, but they're also for your audience, for your listeners?
Sure, I don't necessarily think about other people when I'm writing a song. Sometimes I do, but this song in particular was very personal and from the heart. But it is my hope that people can identify with it, especially people. I really, really long for God to use my music to affect the lives of people in my own community. And if He uses it to affect people beyond that, around the world, great. But my platform is where I am right now, and the people around me. That's my ministry, my community. That's really who, I really long to see God use my music to impact.
In your second song that you sung for us, you had mentioned that your life was fabricated. And it really just touched me the way that you had shared it. It may come a surprise. It was like, I may have had you all fooled. Is this a personal story for you?
Actually, that song is about my father. It's very personal about him. I was listening to him share his testimony with my brother's father-in-law one night, and went into the next room and wrote it. And it's just all about him. Everybody in his life thought he was a Christian. He was a good person. Check everything off the list. He was a Christian, or so he and everybody else thought. So not only was he fooling everybody else in his life, he was fooling himself. And God just brought him to a point where he just could not take it anymore, couldn't take that load to carry of working and earning his salvation, because he couldn't. God just invaded his life with His love and His grace for him. And finally it was just, I'm giving it up to you, Lord. But those lines in particular, it may come as a surprise. It really did to everybody in his world then, when he came out and said, I just got saved. The Lord has just broken me. And they're like, what? He was an ordained minister before he was a Christian at a very young age. But it's a great testimony.